be early Saturday. Depends on where you are in the world. Um, what's going on? Just having a good day. Just trying to get everything started. We're gonna go live in just a second. Got a lot of different things to talk about in a different direction. Of course, we're gonna talk about that NBA scandal. I gotta talk about it because it impacts so many different elements. Even though they still ain't gonna talk about them Epstein files, but they just want to talk about everything to turn you off. And we just gonna get into it in just a second. I just gotta set up shop. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's got weekend plans, staying safe, staying blessed, staying true. Hope you doing good out here. Hope you're feeling good. Um, get myself together, get on in here. We're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna just get point blank about it because I just think that it's just too vital, too important. A lot of different things to talk about, but let's just get into this while we shall we. We just gonna get into it. It's pretty simple. Answer the question, you just say yes or no. All right, I didn't send out everything. So everybody coming through. So I am live now. So if you get notifications or whatever, where you are, I didn't send out to different platforms and I am live. And I'm going to address this the best way I know how, the most enlightened way I know how, the most educated way I know how. We're going to get into it. What do I think about this whole thing with the NBA and gambling? And do I think they still control the game? Do I still think they control sports? Yes, I do. Numbers don't lie. Now they always say men and women lie, numbers don't lie. There is a racket in the business that's going on that's deeper than you can imagine. There is something that is going on that is controlling the surfaces. And this whole thing when they started streaming with numbers, I was very leery. Now sports tie in with gambling is nothing new. You have professional sports leagues, and now in Las Vegas, of course, with LA and New York, and you know that the rackets and the syndicates ain't nothing new. People taking dives, people falling over, people just kind of looking lost. It ain't nothing new at all. So you can't act like you shocked or you surprised. I guess you can if you're trying to act like you're trying to pull one over somebody's eyes. I guess you can. But reality is that it's nothing new. We hear, but they made a movie about the Black Sox for crying out loud. You know, it's happened in all sports. They talk about, sometimes they try to talk about steroids. This is worse than steroids because you got known tables where they're flipping cards, they're flipping people, they're turning your numbers, and they're using head coach, they're using people in positions. This is nothing new. Chauncey Billups' situation would not be that different from Tim Donahue, who was the NBA ref who got busted. It's no different. It's just a matter of who all was involved. But see, something went down where it was obviously more deeper and more profound, more processed, more thought out. So when you see stuff like this going on, they not going to tell you the truth about it. But um, someone said no. I wish the people that voted no would come on here and dispute me on that. I beg to differ. I think that illegal vote. I think that with the gambling and the stakes and everything that's going on, I don't think nothing has changed. La Costa Nostra, when the FBI director came out and said Bonanno and Gambino said those names, I was having Goodfellas, John Gotti flashbacks. My whole thing went back like 35, 40 years. That's what I was feeling. What's happening? How you doing? I thought to myself, like, whoa, this is like, wow, what's happening? Rest in peace to your grandma. Sorry to hear that. And especially with the time of year and the timing. Sorry to hear that. Um, you just never know. And you want to put thoughts and prayers. 50-50 on this poll so far. Okay. I think that it's a situation where people are going to have a hard time digesting that. How much do they control what they're watching, what is actually actual? But like if you watch, I don't know. I don't do that. I hope that you legal to be on my channel because if you're not of a certain age, then I'm gonna have to remove you. And I hope that everything is where it's supposed to be. We don't do guess how old on here because this is grown people. This is not. If you're in the wrong section, you gotta believe the premise. It's not that because I'm gonna say anything wrong or anything like that, but I don't want nobody coming in here that is not of age. So don't say guess how old. Say if you're not in the right, if you don't understand what I'm saying, then you got to go. That's one way to get you out of here. I don't want anybody not of age to be on this consent. So we don't have any problems. But anyway, we are live today. And it's a very serious topic, but am I surprised or shocked? No. Do I think it's worse and more widespread? Yes, I do. And then you got to go too. So can't have nobody here that is not of age. The thing clearly states protect your guidelines, protect your situations. So if you're not of a certain age and factor, you got to go. And that's a good way to get up out of here too. If that's not you, this is not your form, then you can bounce. I'm not going to lose no sleep. I gotta have grown. That's a good question. If anybody wants to get on board for that, I'll answer that question. I do 3. Because it's very comfortable, and I like to keep my neck comfortable. So I'll do that. Anyway, don't know who all will show up today. Sometimes these notifications go out, sometimes they don't. So what I'm going to do is just send stuff through, and we're going to go at it from that. We'll just play it off of that. You know. Anyway, hope everybody's having a good day. We're getting ready for the weekend. Hope you're doing good. Okay. It's something about having a high rise. No, let's not start that foolishness. Let's keep it real. And you got an orangutan neck if you go up that high. Anyway, yeah, when I came up with this, I saw the whole thing with Terry Rozier. I saw the whole thing with Chauncey Billups. And to be honest with you, I wasn't surprised about the players busted. I was surprised when I heard the names of the mafia names. I was like, wow. I hadn't heard those names called in years. So when I hear the Bonanno family, La Costa Nostra, I'm like, oh my God. But I'm not shocked. I still think it's going on in the music business because of the streams. Like that's the giveaway right there. What is a better excuse to take away the actual sales than to have these streams, which you mysteriously don't know? Albums mysteriously go platinum or certified when you don't really see physical copies. So someone is working behind the scenes. There's a handful of money being made. There's a chunk of money being made. It's just that we don't see who's doing it. And that's the reality of it, you know. You got all these people that are profiting, but who is actually making the money? Who's actually putting it down? You know, where is it actually coming into context? So, you know, that's the kicker right there. So anyway, I want to let it be known I'm gonna advertise today. I'm not gonna be here tomorrow. Questionable for Sunday. So, and definitely not Monday. So maybe Sunday, not Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, strong possibility. So just saying that. So, because I still like to get my 3 live streams in. So that means next week, probably Tuesday, Wednesday, probably Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, probably like that. So just to be on the lookout. Next Friday, I don't know. I don't know for Halloween. We don't know. We taking it day by day. We don't know nothing. But anyway, um, I wanted to come on today. I'm not on tomorrow. Questionable Sunday, but definitely Tuesday, Wednesday. So see what's up. Yeah, take that question down. So anyway, looks like it's gonna be kind of a slow day today. If unless of course people come through. If it's not that busy today, I'll probably only be on for a half hour. But I will. The truth is, I can talk about this all day with the mafias running things because it just too much funny business going on. It just looks too shady. It looks too. It looks too like too much is happening and it don't quite add up. It don't quite sync up. You know, you just kind of gotta wonder. You kind of gotta you know, shrug your shoulders and you just kind of don't know what's up. You're just kind of like at a standstill. You know, and the thing about it is they obviously tapped them in a place where nobody's at because nobody goes to Portland. But the Blazers suck. Okay, let's keep it 100. The Blazers haven't been good in a minute. Damon Lillard's coming back, but for crying out loud, they don't even have an NBA coach probably. Everyone's gonna look at if y'all were throwing games. Everybody gonna look at what y'all got, and it's infiltrated around the league because load management and other things that are involved. So who's who's running the league? It opens a Pandora's box of so much more that we just don't know. So anyone's guess, anybody's guess of what is actually going on and who's actually playing, who's actually participating. It's just so many things that you just don't even know. And the thing about it is like there was a time where you could actually, you know, um, get behind these teams, and you show this and show that. Yeah, you can't even do that no more because you just don't even know what's to expect. You just kind of like you're dumbfounded. So I've watched basketball forever and a day, and I just think that in all honesty, I'm at a point where, well, I think all of it's fixed. I mean, keep it 100, you know, because it's just too many things that are just the money's outrageous, you know. It's amazing how these owners have billions of dollars in economies and how people are impacted, and it's the have and have nots. But they're getting tax write offs, they're getting crazy bonuses, they're getting to do what they want to do. So you got I'm gonna give you an example. So Christian Brown, I think he's Denver Nuggets, right? He scored like 6, 7 points last night. This cat is getting a 5-year extension, $125 million. And I'm thinking, man, even cats that are second, third tiers are getting crazy bag. It's just crazy money today. And the owners can afford to pay it. That's why you got $100 million guys and the payments are all astronomical, but because it's generating so much money, it's crazy. So, it's just one of those things where you are just, you know, I'm blown away by the reality of today, you know, because obviously you pay what you can afford, but at the same time, if we're really going by guys who really earn what they get and what they should get, it hits completely different. It's crazy. It's crazy, you know. So it's a it's an incredible vibe. What's happening? How you doing? Thank you for stopping through today. Appreciate you. I'm looking forward to anybody who wants to come on the chat. I'll be here. I'll see how everything goes. I will either do another 15 minutes or I'll do another 45. It depends on how it goes. So far, it's been pretty quiet. What's happening? How you doing? And I know times it takes people some time to get here and early. I'm not gonna say that. I don't like playing novelty games. But if you want to have a conversation, feel free. And please hit the like too. Anybody coming in, hit the like, hit the poll. Boy, most people don't think the mob is behind stuff. This is funny. There's got to be some contrarians in here. I know good and well the mafia is running everything. What's happening? How you doing? It was a great day. Thank you for asking. Had a nice vegetarian breakfast and I feel good. Great day. Weather was decent and just woke up with a smile and blessings in my heart and my soul. And thank you for coming through. Meet some really cool folks and it was cool. Yeah, how about yourself? Tell me about your day. That's cool. What kind of dog you got? I see that all the time. I tell you something, more people have more fun with their dogs than they do with their kids. And I understood how that came to be. Dogs will respect you. Okay, cool. How old? We not doing that up in here. I'm not doing that stupid game up in here. Oh, okay. That's a fresh one. Okay, good. So you still got the fresh home training. That's cool. That's cool. Please hit the like button too, by the way. If you're entering and you want to take the poll, feel free. 56%. I think I got a troll. Gotta go. Trolls gotta go. We're not in the mood for trolling today. We gotta go. Okay. Well, just be careful with your dog. Okay. Got some real situations today. So yes, thank you again for coming on through. Looking forward to conversation today and see what we got. What we got. It's going up and down today, so we're just gonna see what's up. They're asking some of these questions. Some of these things I don't want to even answer. Okay. Please come along if you're on board and you got something you want to say. Feel free to come through. Please hit the like and feel free to take the poll. And again, like I said before, I will be here today. Won't be here tomorrow. So if you got anything you want to say, feel free to come on through. Tell me where you're coming from, and then we can get into that. And if you want to talk about the topic of discussion, let's do it. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate you. Hope to see you again and have a great day and great weekend. Thank you. Always welcome somebody comes through humble, approachable. We need good energy. Thank you for coming through. Yep. Appreciate everyone that comes through, takes the time. I know there is a gazillion podcasts, streamers, etc., etc. So anyone that gives me a moment of time, appreciate it. As long as you're not trolling. Trolling, I can't do nothing with you. We're having a good conversation. I'm down for the cause. And any way I can turn it back for you and make it happen, just holler. So this won't be an all day thing. I can tell right now because I'm not, I will be on. I'll see if I get any more traction. Just running it out there, just talking about it because, and of course, it's another distraction from the Epstein files because they can't find that, but they can find basketball coaches and players turning cards for, yeah, take it easy now, peace out. They can find that, but they can't do a sting on their own president. Yeah, okay. Not believable. And first thing I heard some people talking about chatting about Chauncey Billups saying, I thought he was a nice guy. I said, well, he got in with money. Your hands with money ain't got nothing to do if you're nice or you're bad. It's just that you wanted that bag. Somebody snitched you out. And then the big question is, did Gilbert Arenas snitch him out? Or did he do it? Because how did they get a track of this in the last few years to know about poker games and people with funny cards and funny money? How did they know? And who was the muscle that was there's so many unanswered questions. But then again, I'm not dumb either. And I know that Adam Silver has got his spies and somebody was watching. So there's a lot more going on to it than this. Because am I a firm believer that Chauncey Billups and Damian Jones and Terry Rozier are the only ones involved? No, it's deeper than you think. It's probably tied into the Epstein thing. And not because of that, but because of some other factors. Chances are, if you're doing any kind of, and you ain't supposed to do, there's something else you're not doing. So, yeah, I think they will. So, just kind of in between things today. That's all. So, appreciate everything that's going on. And some people are getting the station break, some won't. So, it moved without it too. So, mm-hmm. So yeah, it's kind of a low key day. I've been on. Was I on yesterday? And I was on Wednesday. So yeah, 3 straight days. I more than did. And again, some days, some weeks you might get me more, some less. However, if I don't see a lot of people coming through, I'm not gonna come on talk to blank screen because I have to give you the subject matter. And you're more than welcome to watch the video. I'm gonna have it up, and it'll be able to accessorize it. But as far as like I'm looking for conversation, I need to keep people rotating and flotating. That's the proposition that so yeah. So my time on here today. I got a few more minutes. And we'll see if anybody comes through. I can give you a few minutes, and then if we don't get anything, I'll have to cut it short today. Hello, how you doing? How you doing? Thank you for coming through. 50-50 split. I would imagine some people will be 50-50. I think there's some people that think they control everything. Some people think they don't. Doing all right. How you doing? Where you coming from today? We're not gonna start this stupidness again. That's one reason why it's hard to go live because people want to troll. And I don't want nobody coming here trolling. I need people to have conversation. So if you're gonna troll, you got to go somewhere else with that mess. I don't. 58% saying, yeah, okay, we got a good beat on it. Hmm. What's up? Ah. Well, actually, I was thinner than Joe Jackson, so that could be a compliment. I'll take that as a compliment. Michael looked just like his father, so he had distinctive eyebrows. I'll take that as a compliment. I respected Joe Jackson's business savvy. He knew about the industry. People could say what they want. He had it where he put a certain discipline where you had to put things into perspective. So we're back to 50-50 again. So this is cool. This is cool. And again, we're gonna be on here as long as I get some people coming on here and conversing. The polls numbers go up. Feel free to hit the like button, by the way. You know, and if you want to subscribe, you want to donate, feel free. Uh, feel free. Just get everything straight. Okay, looks like we're getting another coming in through 53% saying no. I noticed that the why might not be getting a lot of people coming in talking. The poll is definitely taking a life of its own. So that's cool. And sometimes I don't mind that. If people want to be talking like that, that's fine. I think that's one of the best things that can happen. So anyway, just coming through today. Don't know. That's why when they talk about the logic guard your processor. Hello, how are you? How are you doing today? I haven't had a lot of conversations today. It's just been little bumps and little clicks. So where you coming from today and how's the weather and everything and so on and so forth. It's been pretty quiet today. Well, do tell. I like to know what kind of good means. Cause I know very good and I know especially good, but I want to know what kind of good means. Okay. Well, what's wrong? Do tell. One thing I do on here is keep open honesty. You can kind of tell by my poll question because if I asked about the mafia, you know I'm not. I don't talk faint of light. There's no make believe. So do tell. If you want to converse, feel free. I'm listening. Okay, I'm listening. Okay, well, maybe another time. But anyway, thanks for stopping through. It's been that kind of day. It's been some people coming through, some people stop, start. We never get anywhere, but things do occur. Well, I won't be here but so much today because I'll probably be on for about 10 more minutes. There's not been a lot of people coming through. I am getting a lot of poll questions asked, which is huge, but there's not a lot of the stop and start track. So, okay, that's good. All right. Well, what I'll do is I'll probably be on for another 10 more minutes. I'll see if anybody comes through. I like to at least get a half hour to a 40 minutes, close to an hour. I did do a 2+ hour one yesterday. We had a pretty good amount of people yesterday. But, again, it's Friday and people are busy and it's pay and a lot of stuff going on, or they're dealing with, situations. So I get it. So we are going to be on for a little while longer. And, the topic is pretty heavy for some. Some people can take it, some can't. It all depends. I can't sugarcoat it because if it's infiltrated. And I didn't think I was gonna see those. I knew they were running things, but I didn't think I was gonna see it in this kind of scandal. This is crazy. No. And again, like I always say, some days are more, you know, straightforward than others. Oh, excuse me. And I'm okay too, by the way. For anyone says, "Oh, you just," I'm not tired. I'm good. It's just that no one's come through. So what I will do, I'll give it a few more minutes. Mhm. Someone said they went to go shopping, so that's okay though. Okay. I'm not gonna trip about nothing, Then I sent notices out. Some days are more than the others, and I don't take it personal. Actually, people do end up watching the live stream in different capacities because it's definitely resonating. So that's okay. It's all good. You know, feel pretty good today. Had a nice vegetarian breakfast. It was nice and relaxing and comfortable. Look forward to, you know, the winds is blowing in some places. So we're going to see what's going on. And again, for all the ones who don't be on to catch it early on, they will be on a live to be able to watch it again. So, you know, appreciate the views. The views are definitely going up. The poll question is huge. Appreciate that. And, just keep on with the likes. So, this poll question is 50-50, by the way. So, that's interesting in itself. Yeah. You'd be surprised how that go. Okay. 53. So 53% is saying yes now. That's more like it. I figured this question sticks up long enough, more people will come to their senses. Not gonna make anyone feel bad because they voted no, but I just think that the obvious answer is yes. I think if you are looking at the rigging that's going on, the totality that's going on, and when I heard them names yesterday, so imagine if you grew up watching Sesame Street and you ain't heard Bert and Ernie's name in 25, 30, 40 years, or Blues Clues. Her name you ain't listened to, and then all of a sudden that name comes back to life, that it's associated with something that ain't right. You be looking like Scooby Doo. You be like, huh? So that's what's up. So this tells me that they definitely have had their fingers in other pies. And I think that on the underground, with the social media and all the other stuff going on, they're around, but are they making the sounds and they've had to be tucked away because a lot of them got sent away? It's real. So, no. Anyway, I'll be on for a couple more minutes. And like I said before, this is freestyle commentary. So sometimes if no one will come through, I still give a freestyle commentary to talk about the video in totality. Some people like that though, actually, because I won't do it in a regular video because, I got subject matters and content. But for this live stream, I will go in on it. And that's another reason why if you're enjoy live streams like this and you want to get in on the podcast, feel free because I will talk about said topics at verbatim. Especially if someone will hear it and wants to talk about it. I know it's a problem. It's a catastrophe. Because if you hear names like that, you shouldn't be hearing those names openly. But I got a feeling that's why certain things you see are where they are. Why Trump is in the White House. I think that that's one of those things that was behind it. Well, thank you for coming on. You saved the day. Um, Great performances. Um, I think that I'm kind of numb to it because so many people are doing it. But I'm going to use that for a question when I get off from here. I'm going to talk about those three. Um, how would I rank them? And what does it mean? I think for Aaron Gordon, he kept getting better. He's actually become a better player for Denver. He's playing with Jokic has not only revived his career, he's made him a legit player. The problem is they still got problems on the perimeter and they still don't play no defense. That's the problem. And Jimmy Butler has added something that makes that a problem for Denver because they had their way with Curry in a way. Curry's Curry. He's club. He came up big. He's the dude that is can match, and he's the last of the older cats that I think that out of him, Durant and LeBron and Harden included and Kawhi, he's the last one that I think that's got a chance to. If there's anyone got a chance to get a ring again, because he can come up. You just got to look at it. As far as SGA, He's the baddest perimeter player going that is should be mentioned in the great conversations with Jokic and Giannis, and probably has got a chance to win more. But for whatever reason, because he doesn't allure, he's not in the market, and he doesn't have a high flying game, he doesn't get his due. But only gets better. He's only scary. And before people cry and say, "Well, he's a free throw machine," well, you have to earn it. Get mad at Kobe, get mad at Dwayne Wade, get mad at LeBron James, get mad at this. He's from Jordan 2 straight. This guy. Oh yeah, because he can shoot that outside shot, and he's big, and he's a better fit. That's why Draymond will feel more comfortable. Draymond won't have as much pressure if Al Horford is playing. That was a heck of a steal. So if Kamingas can come up big, they could be a problem. It could be a problem. It all depends. All depends. So Shaq said he thinks they're gonna be one of the 4 teams in the West with home court. They could be a problem if those pieces fall into place, healthy, and everybody's right. Because Steph's one of the guys that you just know you just got a feeling you don't have to deal with. Jimmy Butler's a good fit for him, so I think that they're making the right move. I still think I got to see what their bench is like, but I think that they're gonna be. They got a chance to be a high second tier. I'm not. I'm not. I don't think they can beat no OKC. Not at this stage. Curry can match fire, but I don't know at this stage. But if he does that, and I'm gonna say it here first, if Curry they do it, then I'll have him as a top 5 player ever, a top 5 or 6 ever. Because if he wins another ring with this crew, and considering what he's done and his impact on the game, and then you just got to pencil in that if he plays 2 or 3 more years, he's going to have 30,000 points, his assists, his postseason records, his game changing ways. You're watching history before your eyes. And I understand why Shaq holds him in high regard, because then the second part of his career is crazy. He had the one chapter, then he has the next chapter. And he's got a chance to probably play after this year, and he's healthy at least 2 more years. So by the time he's 40, he should have 30 plus thousand points and hell, 5,000 probably 3 pointers made, crazy numbers. So, but I will do a video about those three. That's all on opening night for some, you know. And what's it mean? I think SGA is the one that gets downplayed the most, and he's the best consistent player going today. I know Jokic has got the incredible aura and all that, but SGA is more consistent. I mean, to think about from the guard position, plus he plays both sides, and they don't have an Aaron Gordon type because I mean, Chad Holmgren hasn't come to that yet, but he threw 55 up last night. I mean, I don't think people realize. Um, I think at this stage he's more consistent than Curry. That's a big thing to get to the free throw line because Curry makes life hard on himself. As great as Curry is, if he could get to the free throw line, then that would enable others to be involved. I think that's the smartest move that SGA has because it means Jay Williams, it means Holmgren, it means those guys have a chance to shine. Remember, if you're ball hogging and you shooting balls and you're not slowing the pacing the game, you can wear yourself out. You have to have a skill set, and he can shoot outside and he can go inside. I think that what he's represented speaks volumes because I don't think that if with the year he had last year, and remember Westbrook had won MVP there, Durant had won MVP there, Harden went off to Houston, won MVP, but they never did what this guy did when he led that team. So I hold him in, and I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for anybody else. So I mean, Curry's got the better career, but if SGA wins another ring this year and he wins another league MVP, he runs the table. he moves up the food chain. And history is going to be interesting when he looks back on it because what the move from the Clippers to OKC and what he's represented, and he's only gotten better with each passing year, and he throws up crazy numbers. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. But you're entitled to however you feel about said players and said people. We're not gonna get into a discussion about, you know, too many times people get into arguments about what they feel. So, you know. But anyway, I will do a video about that. Thank you, Arnell, for that. Golden State will be in the mix though. I don't know how far they'll go, but Tatum was out for half the year. LeBron says November. If that injury is as serious as it is, it could be a while. But the problem is he's got to get his rhythm and his cadence back. And again, he's 40 years old. And if his 24 and 6 and 6 and 24, 6 and 7 or 7 and 7 or 8 and 8 ain't making and moving the needle, they're gonna have a problem. They're gonna have a problem. They don't guard the perimeter worth much. DeAndre's got to be an X factor in the middle. So I think it's the end of the road for him. He never missed a regular season before. I do. I think it's over. I can't imagine that he'll come back. This is his last year now. Like they're not bringing him back. That's the message that they're sending. So even if the Lakers were miraculously gifted a chip, because that's what it would have to be, because they're not better than the teams I've seen out west, he's not coming back. They want him done. And I don't know where else he could fit at this stage either. So Tatum injury is pretty severe. It usually takes quite a while. And LeBron's allegedly would be pretty tough too. So again, but I think LeBron would be another month though. But I'll say this: the Lakers ain't much if they don't have him. They don't have a lot of room, wiggle room. They don't have the depth. Um, it's just not much there. So that's how I'm looking at it. Okay. I'll see if anybody else is going to say anything. If not, I'll probably conclude in about another minute or two. Thank you, Arnell, for coming because that definitely bought me a couple minutes and that made it worthwhile and a good conversation for 10 minutes. So we got to talk about it. And I appreciate your question because I'm going to talk about those three last night. That was an electric night. But then again, people are going to think it's like a video game. And I'm like, but I do think Aaron Gordon has gotten better and better. SGA is SGA right now. He's that dude. He's really something else. And on both sides, you know, he just doesn't get his due. You know, people fixated about the call. Well, he play hard. He keeps himself in shape. He play hard. He goes at it. And Curry's Curry. I mean, he set a standard. You're looking at somebody that, though other people shoot a lot of threes, there ain't gonna be another Steph Curry. He's really left an indelible mark, and he's truly one of a kind. So I don't foresee another one that's gonna be like him. 49ers. Come on now. The Texans don't have any offense at all. Their defense is depends on who they're playing against. But Seattle stomped a mud hole in they behind last week. Got physical because again, CJ Stroud is looking lethargic and lost. And Seattle's pounding them. I just don't see much there with Houston. I think that they romanticized that what division was soft. And they won a couple division titles. They got second round. And CJ Stroud basically pulled a junior whopper Dak Prescott and was happy to be a second round fodder. But they don't show me any depth. So I'm not sold on them at all. So I think the 49ers will win that game. If the 49ers do lose, it's because Mac Jones had a dud of a game and they were running safety blitzes and stunts on him. he'd have to throw the ball and be really deplorable. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think that at this stage, you know, for what I've seen, the Texans are one of the most depressing offenses I've seen out there in the league. They can't hardly score more than 15. They whipped up on Baltimore. They whip up on some scrub teams, but they're not that good. They're not that good. And they sure as heck are not seeing Indy. Them in Jacksonville, you can battle for second place. They're not seeing. I don't look at CJ as a bust because he's been in the postseason a couple times. Fields, you can make that remark about. Fields just doesn't read well. But CJ's not a bust. I think it's got something to do with the play calling. I think they limited. Now you can't even compare CJ and Fields because Fields is now what? How many teams is he on? Since he left the Bears, the Steelers, and the Jets. So 3 teams in 3 years. CJ don't come off like that. But I'll say this though. That's a lot of it. He's consistent with it, what they do. But Fields just it's sad too because I liked him too. But he just ain't bringing it. He looked lost out there. The Jets suck anyway, so that don't help matters. Aaron Glenn is over his head, and they not doing anything, and they didn't quit on that team already. So sometimes you can tell by the way some cats play, body language gives it away. So anyway, I think that that's about it. Looks like nobody else gonna come through, so I think I'll call it a day with that. Appreciate everyone that came through today. And hopefully, again, I'll probably be back on Sunday. Not here tomorrow, but probably back on Sunday. And then probably Tuesday, Wednesday, and we can talk about something else. Appreciate everyone that hit the likes up. You have a great weekend. If you happen to be here on Sunday, look out for me. Appreciate you coming through because you really saved the day and appreciate everybody that came through. And it was, thank you so much. So, till next time I catch you, stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free, stay true. Thank you again. In conclusion, peace and the best. All right, I'm out. Peace.